And in this propaganda, it's basically user-generated propaganda put together by individuals in China. This is not done by the government, and they are showing, sentiments that are felt rather strongly by many Chinese. Here's another one. This is what I'd call hip-hop propaganda, if we can go to the screen. Okay, that's what I call the hip-hop version of the user-generated propaganda. Another style of it is the more PowerPoint user-generated propaganda, which we get to right here. Okay, if we can go to the screen again, this is the PowerPoint propaganda. And not content to be left alone or left out of the picture, people who were protesting against the Chinese government also had their forms of propaganda. Here's one example of a foreigner, a non-Chinese propaganda, and this fellow was apparently reluctant to be fully identified.
I have a problem with China. Of course, my tennis shoes, my web camera, possibly my microphone. No, they came from America. But an immense amount of things that I own have came from.
So this propaganda war has been coming along on all sides with this. But in addition to the videos, another very interesting phenomenon was the website, the anti-CNN websites that came up, and the anti-CNN sentiment in general. The anti-CNN T-shirts have become a bit of an icon. CNN is in fact a four-letter word in China these days. With the CNN website, anti-CNN website, what they have done is put a series of statements onto this one website explaining why CNN is wrong, what they've done wrong, but it's not just CNN. In fact, on the anti-CNN website, it's hard to find anything in relation to CNN. There are, however, other examples of Western media badly done reporting by foreign media. If we can just quickly look at the screen. So here's an example of the Washington Post. A number of media organizations showed pictures of Nepali policemen in Kathmandu, but called them Chinese policemen cracking down in Tibet. This is video footage out of Germany. Here's a critique of the French, who were a major target in these in the protests, and all of these anti-Western media protests or anti-errors in the Western media examples were put on this anti-CNN site, which is an example of how Chinese people were getting very motivated, very involved. What did the government do at this point? What was the government involvement in this? Of course, the government is extremely involved anytime that anything is happening on the internet. To begin with, there's the Great Firewall. This is the blockage on the Chinese internet which prevents anybody in China from getting to blogging platforms such as WordPress.com, Blogger.com. From time to time, it prevents you from getting to sites like YouTube. Another control that the Chinese have on, and also it's clearly if you do searches for things like Falun Gong or other controversial things that the government considers controversial, you can't find them. Other items the government does to other things the government does control the internet in China. All of the news websites, whether you see Yahoo or Baidu or Sina, all of the news on these websites is pre-approved by the government. So there's sort of a level of pre-approved censorship. It's only the state-controlled media, which is basically all the media in China. Another aspect of control is in internet cafes. There are little avatars that will appear if you're surfing on the internet and looking at stuff that you shouldn't look at. The little policeman appears and says, are you doing things that you should be doing?